What's happening, everybody? I'm Paul Sharp, and I'm here to talk to you about the one thing I wish every new gun owner knew when they walked into a gun store. And it's this. It's one thing, but there's three parts. Buy a Glock, buy ammo, buy training. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. Don't Google a bunch of stuff. Don't YouTube a bunch of stuff. Don't go into the gun store and try to find a pistol that fits your hand and all this other stuff. That's garbage advice. You don't need that. You need to keep it simple as possible, but no simpler. The reason I always recommend the Glock is because they're easy to shoot. It's basically, think of it this way, it's easy to get set up with the Glock, and it's easy to then go take it shooting. It's easy to go to a class. It's reliable. It's accurate. It's not going to break down on you. There's not a whole lot of things. It's not complicated by any means whatsoever. It's simply, you simply just load it and shoot it. There's not much more to it. So when we're thinking about new people, the last thing I want to do is give somebody who has no idea what they're looking at a whole bunch of explanations, a whole bunch of options. That's the last thing they need. Keep it simple. There is a reason that just about every police department on the planet is issued Glocks. There's a reason when we go to other countries and our military trains the locals up, what do they give them? They typically give them some sort of Glock 19. There's a reason for that. It's because it's hard to fail with a Glock 19 or a Glock 17. My number one recommendation would be something like this. This is a Glock 19 police trade-in that I picked up for under $300 back in 2001, 2002. Now, fast forward till today, empty. Just let you guys see that in there. Nothing in the pipe. We're all good, right? This pistol is almost exactly as it came to me in 2001 or 2, whenever I got this thing. I got it a long time ago. The only thing that I've changed on this pistol, even this part that helps the mag kind of go in a little better, that was on the pistol when I bought it. This was a police trade-in. It had virtually zero wear and tear on the internals. I took it apart, looked at it, was like, holy cow. This thing is like new on the inside. There was a little tiny bit of holster wear. Now since that time, I put this thing through the paces, and you can see there is some wear, there is some tear, there's some shiny parts here and there, but that's about it. I replaced the sights because the stock Glock night sights that came on this pistol were dead. As a matter of fact, the rear sights were brighter than the front sight, which was a little bit distracting. And back then there was no options for optics or anything like that, so I went with what my eyes appreciate the most, which is the Savigny Warren sight setup with the fiber optic front, and this one has the U-shaped rear, which I've never really got on board with that, but I did like it and it was available, so I took it. And then also DR put an extended mag release in here and then beveled it, rounded it off. It's really cool. It makes it easier to reach, but it also it doesn't snag. It takes off any kind of sharp edges on the pistol. Now, I bought this pistol, and then about 2 months later, I bought the pistol, I put a couple hundred rounds to it to make sure it works well. I took it out to DRs with the new sights on it, took it out to DRs, and proceeded to shoot anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 rounds a day for about 6 days straight through this pistol. Never had a problem, never a malfunction. It ran flawlessly. I even shot it on DR standards, which are the instructor standards, which are, he takes the sights off the pistol, you just have a balled slide, and you have to run plate racks, and you shoot targets out to 100 yards, and it's a fun, challenging test. And we did that a few times during that week with no sights on this pistol, and I was able to achieve all of those standards. Now, that was great for confidence. That helped me to really love this pistol, really love what I could do with this pistol, and gave me immense confidence in carrying this thing. I carried this undercover and in a variety of capacities, and it served me, and still to this day continues to serve me well. Now think about that. if I were a first-time gun owner, no other purchases, might never buy any other pistol after this, that was probably a pretty solid investment, don't you think? I've done a lot of cool things with this pistol, shot a ton of rounds through it, never had a problem, never had to replace any internals, all for $300. Now, you can buy all kinds of holsters, aftermarket gear to support this, but my recommendation, again, for the new gun buyer, the first time, the person that comes to you and says, hey man, I don't own any guns, I want to buy something, I don't know what to buy, it's very confusing, I spent an hour on YouTube or 2 hours on YouTube and another hour on Google, and I went to a gun store and that made it even more confusing. I say this, buy a Glock, preferably a 19, but a 17 works as well. There's tons of police trade-in 17s that are like new. Get a Glock, get the ammo, get some training. You'll be set, man. All right, guys, I hope you appreciate this. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I always try to engage with everybody, and I enjoy the back and forth and the discussion of these things, and that's about it. Have an awesome day. See you on the next one.